Hello class. Here are some directions about putting a 5 to 7 page paper together, which basically is due in your final project. It's really simple. What I did was I told you to write about anything at all in strategic management that interested you, whether it be the company you work for, whether it be another company you're interested in, whether it be one of the strategic things you'd like to talk about. Could be SWOT analysis. It could be just what we're talking about here in Chapter 3, internal, external environment. Could be anything about, the big picture, talking about the planning stages of strategy. How do we go about implementing a strategic plan that is going to work well for your company. You can write about anything at all on the material that we're covering, or even in your book, as long as you benefit from it somehow. 5 to 7 pages double-spaced in APA or MLA is fine. The Levin Library, they have some really great resources that you can certainly use, and I would not have a problem with that at all. So feel free to use those resources if you should choose to, as far as templates are concerned. They have some great templates at the Levin Library for APA and maybe even MLA. So you can just talk to one of the research librarians. But basically, 5 to 7 pages double-spaced isn't a big deal, with a reference sheet, a title page, and a hypothesis. Okay, how do we put the outline together? Come up with a hypothesis. A hypothesis basically is something that you think now is true before you actually go ahead and do your research. So if you thought when it rained the sky was blue, okay, well, that's what you think now until you do your research and you find out that's not the case. When it rains, the sky is cloudy. But how do you support that hypothesis? Well, you might want to ask the question in one of your goals of your paper: what happens when it rains? What happens when it's sunny? What happens when it's cloudy? What happens when it's sunny and it doesn't rain? I think you get the idea. So if you're talking about strategic management, you may want to ask questions like, what my company right now is planning to implement a new policy regarding how to handle certain types of paperwork in the company, whatever that is, whatever you want to name it. I think this is effective because of this reason, or it isn't because of this reason. Now, what you want to do, that's your hypothesis. So then what you want to do is set up 4 or 5 goals and objectives that support your hypothesis. Now, either you're going to find out that after your research that the hypothesis is going to be supported based on what you originally thought, or it isn't supported. You're going to tell me why it isn't supported. Now, the thing is, each one of those goals that support that hypothesis will become a separate section of your paper. And then at the end of the body of your paper, which is about maybe 4 pages or so, you're going to write another page which is going to be a summary and then a conclusion. The summary basically takes each one of the goals that support your hypotheses in each section of your paper and does what? Basically, what it does is it gets each one of those goals and it comes up with one statement that supports that goal. Your conclusion is going to be testing your hypotheses against your conclusions. And either it's going to be, I prove my hypothesis because of this reason, based on what I've researched, or I didn't because of this reason, and that's why. So that shouldn't be a big deal for you. All right? Now, the last page is going to be a reference sheet. 5 to 7 references of, you can use your PowerPoint, you can use lecture notes, lecture videos. You can use Google. You can use your book. Whatever you think you need, just make sure I know where it's at. And if it's a hyperlink, just put the hyperlink in. You don't have to put the whole article in. And I'll be able to, take a look at what you did. And that's it. Okay? So, cover page, hypotheses. Hypotheses usually is centered in one page. Your outline, that's just hypotheses with all of your goals. Each section of your paper, each section is like maybe a couple, 3 paragraphs that support the hypotheses. A summary and conclusion sheet, your references, you're done. Okay? That's it.